when we worked at St. Mary Lodge and Resort in Montana, some people pulled an incredible prank on the entire staff. Now, this resort employed quite a bit of people, and I alluded to earlier this resort being run in a rather unethical fashion. Yeah, perhaps they were with the mafia. I don't know, but I wouldn't think it's too far-fetched to think so. What these people did to prank everybody was they created some memos. Now, you know what a memo is when you email it out or somehow mail it out to people, and it has like the letterhead, and it usually has in big print, memo. Now, the employees kept getting these ridiculous memos over and over and over again from management, and they were ways of micromanaging everybody. Just ridiculous things. I'm sure you've had a boss micromanage in some ways, but kind of passive aggressively through memos is really, really annoying because they really stack up. All these new policy changes and whatnot. If you are within 12 feet of a patron, you are required to greet them with a hello. And now that's nice, but it gets a little out of hand. Like 12 feet, really now? But of course, what they were trying to get at was, we want you to engage with the patrons and not just kind of ignore them as you walk around. But it was such a legalistic way. So what these brilliant people did with creating these memos was they were all written extremely professionally, whoever wrote them, and they they were signed by the general. The last name was Consensus. Now put those two things together. From the general Consensus. Clever? Are you tracking with me? So you're probably wondering, what was in some of these memos? Well, the people who wrote these, whoever they were very brilliant because they targeted the employees and the staff where it hurt them most, and that was their paycheck. Because honestly, you can require the staff to do any number of silly policies, but once you touch someone's paycheck, that's when people start to take notice. So there were examples like the EDR, the employee dining area, kind of in the basement of this giant lodge. They had these meals that well, the owners kept cutting the costs over and over and over again. So instead of having fish, once the owners showed up and started managing, we got rather dry chicken because fish was too expensive. These employees can't be eating this stuff. We have to cut costs here. So this memo instituted a policy where people now have to pay for a soda plan. And approximately $15 per paycheck will be garnished from the employee's paycheck to pay for said soda plan. Signed, the general Consensus. Another fantastic memo was we noticed that there have been some rather controversial bumper stickers addressing politics and economics on some of the employees' vehicles. We are now requesting the employees to no longer park in the employee parking area, but rather park down the street, like a mile down the street. I forget exactly what was mentioned, how they actually got to work if they parked so far away, but something to the effect of, we're going to start with a shuttle service. By the way, the shuttle service is going to be paid for through the employee's paycheck. And these were really, really eloquently written. And some of the employees got so mad. But most of them were really just laughing hysterically because they knew that it was a social commentary on these real memos. The people who didn't find it very humorous were, of course, the bosses and the owners, which I thought whoever wrote these, whoever they were, was absolutely brilliant, and I had to laugh. Oh boy. Another memo going off of the if you're within a certain vicinity of someone, you should greet the patron. The memo said, if you are within 100 feet of a person, you are to greet the person with a hello and ask them how the weather is, or something to that effect. But it was a ridiculous vicinity, and which basically meant if you even barely see a customer or a patron, you need to shout at them. We also said all previous memos, or not we, I mean we being the memos, as if I am the memos. Anyway, the memos also said if you receive any memos within the past 24 hours, they should be considered false. And memos are not a laughing matter and should not be ridiculed. Please disregard all past memos. So brilliant. So you're probably wondering, well, how did the employees get these memos? They were posted everywhere. Everywhere. In the middle of the night. You see, some people somehow got around some locks and shimmied it through some very, very small spaces and posted them in areas where no one should really enter except for maybe a manager with a key. I don't know how these people got in there, but it was rather brilliant to see some of them kind of look through a window and of the closed, locked office and see a bunch of memos stuck all over the walls, placed on the manager's desk, buried in folders so that people wouldn't find these for like weeks to come. Oh man, so brilliant. You're probably wondering what the fallout was from these memos, and it was extreme displeasure and anger. Livid, absolutely livid. One of the employees thought that I was involved with it, and I remember him. He was a really, really nice guy. Chris, his name was, and he came up to me and was like, "Hey, Bo, now, just between you and me, did you write those memos?" And I could not tell a lie, and so I said, "Chris, I did not write those memos," which is the truth. I think someone else wrote the memos. He didn't necessarily ask me if I posted them or created them and dictated a lot of them and someone else wrote them, but still, I technically did not write the memos. But I digress. So awesome. Oh, the soda plan. One example of an employee sort of losing it when she saw these memos was, what was her name? Gretchen, Heidi, I forget her name. But she was this small, very, very, very small, wiry woman. She was a cook in the employee dining area. And she had sort of this high-pitched voice. And I'll never forget walking in there, and she said, "Whoever posted these memos, I'm gonna throttle them." I don't know if you could hear that very well, but basically she said, "Whoever posted these memos, I'm going to throttle them." And she got her really scary looking thin fingers and she wrapped them around an imaginary neck. And so my good friend Matt Park and I, when we heard that, we just got really wide eyes and felt very concerned for whoever did the Memo's prank.